Hello everybody, welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. We have already another dark moon. It's just incredible how time flies. It's just like you cannot catch up anymore. But now you can see the chart looks much more calm. And this is what is happening. And we have a very, very interesting constellation when you look at the moon's sun and Venus in conjunction. You know that we have an eclipse in the moment. So this is always very much more intense because the energies are really kind of bombarding us in the moment. And with this conjunction that we have only one aspect here to Jupiter, retrograde Jupiter, which is a quincunx. And we have to look at the quincunx from a very different perspective than all the other aspects, because it has two meanings. When we are going forward now from this triple conjunction forward to Jupiter, it is a 150-degree aspect. That means that is a last chance aspect. If we are moving here from Jupiter the other side around, we find so-called what I call divorce aspect. That means that it's something we have to divorce. We have to let go from our life that is not accurate for us anymore. So this has a very, very deep meaning. Now, as you know, we have the sun and moon together. This is already the conjunction of yin and yang. And in a way, we can say the dark moon is conception. So something new is being conceived. And when we have Venus there, the goddess of creation, we can say, that is a very, very important moment, because here is something completely new is created. And this connection to Jupiter retrograde means that, you know, we cannot expand anymore in the old ways we always have. This is now what we have to let go. All the old that was in our life, our habits, our beliefs, everything is crashing. And this is the way that from Jupiter retrograde going forward to our triple conjunction is that this will fall away if we like it or not. And from the sun, moon, and Venus forward is a last chance aspect. So now we have a huge chance to look at things again and let them go. I have myself, and I know from a few friends too, first of all, I have very intense dreams in the moment. And some dreams are really literally reliving something from my life, from like my childhood or whatever, that I need to let go. Or it is connected with situations in the moment that I have a situation that like you don't like, or you get angry or whatever coming up, and then it's a deja vu that you see you had that before, or you had it even several times. And then you look at it again. You have to step back, take a step back, and look at the situation. Okay, I've had that many times in my life. What is my lesson? What I have to learn? What do I have to see in this that it comes again, so I can let it go? And sometimes it's just like a lot of people are in our lives now that don't really belong into our life anymore, because those who have moved forward, and also those who are standing still looking like a retrograde, you know, like we are moving away and they're standing somewhere. We cannot hold on. Comes a moment when we just absolutely have no choice anymore than to let go. And this is something that is happening now, that we can deep inside see. Jupiter is still in Pisces. So that means that this underground expansion is not yet completely clear. We still have, you can see here, we still have 4 retrograde planets, and not including the node is always retrograde. But these retrograde planets are still kind of digging in to bring something up to the surface. And especially when it is in Pisces, it is not understandable from our mind. We have the triple conjunction in Virgo, and there is also Jupiter. And that means that we have, this is a harvest sign, right? So it means that nothing what is coming up in the moment is new, nothing that we have to process, or even as Mercury, who is also connected into Pisces with the quincunx, but with Neptune, which is kind of going together, that all this unconscious stuff that was in our life that we could not understand. You know, that's when I talk about dreams, or when I talk about even, say, for example, past life regression, when things are coming up, things that are usually not in our daily life to understand and to comprehend, that are coming up. So we cannot, with our head, with our rational logic, position them somewhere. We just have to accept that this is a part that is also in our life in the moment, but it is not visible. So we have to have our eyes open for a different kind of perception. You know, it's like when you look out in nature and you kind of squeeze your eyes a little bit and they start to blur a bit. Very often you can see the movement. It is like the air starts to move. Or when you focus on a floor or something which is stable, and you kind of lean back and you also squeeze your eyes a little bit, suddenly the floor starts to move. It is like seeing into another dimension. Some time ago, I have posted a picture that when you focus on that picture, which is a negative, like when you have in always photographs, you have a negative. And that picture had a little white dot on the nose. And when you focus on the picture and you count until, I think it was 15 or so, and then you look at a white beside, you see the face. And this is like our whole vision is changing. I will post this picture in the blog page so you can have a look at it. It's very impressive, and I would very much encourage you to do that very often, to look at it maybe once or twice a day, that your eyes learn to focus, to see like aura, to see in a complete different dimension. So this is that gate that is open in the moment. You can see the other two trines that we have here that is also connected to Mercury and not to the sun. Triple conjunction. This is the only main focus that we have in the moment. What is happening in the world also is like, you know, we have all this tension, we have war, it is like a stage that is playing out now, this old negative energies. But it can only play out because it's already clear where we're going. Now, this is the cleanup. They have to still get those negative elements, these negative beings out of their holes to be able to get rid of them. There are some energies, some beings that do not belong to the energy frequency in the moment on the planet, and they have to be eliminated. And there are some people, and I think also some other forces helping with that cleanup. So the best is for us now to focus on our personal spiritual growth, on our personal spiritual opening to see different dimensions, to look into something different that we had, to create, to be reborn in the moment into that new, better, more powerful human. I was listening to a video from Elon Musk that we had in our group, and we had a discussion about that. You know, I also believe that in the future, when I look at whatever ever is happening, that we will have much advanced technology, because it was here before. It was just taken away from us not too long ago, and this will come to the surface also very fast. And we will have free energy. We won't have any more these motors with gasoline and stuff like that. It will change rapidly. But I also believe that, like with the whole AI topic, we don't need really this AI. We need it in technology. But when you move forward, when you have higher intelligence, then we become superhuman, not because of AI, but because we have not just 5% of our brain capacity working, but much more, because this super intelligence that we have, that big chunk of DNA that some people call junk DNA, when this is activated, we will have things that we can do that we cannot do now. And it has something to do with the frequency, because the moment we move into this higher frequency, this automatically changes. Now just look, when I cook water, when I take ice and it's a block and I melt it and then I cook it, every time when the temperature is rising, the water is changing, it's becoming lighter. And the water is more heavy when it's closer to 0 degrees, and then it's different again when it becomes an ice block. And this is exactly with us too, with our physical body. There are physical laws, and they don't change. They don't have to change. But the more we move into a higher frequency, the more light everything gets. And this is exactly what happened with us. So certain elements, beings that are in a very, very low heavy frequency, they will have to go. They will die anyway. They cannot exist in a higher frequency. And this Sun, Moon, Venus conjunction we have here is now the birthing, or maybe it's just a conception for, and some maybe the birthing already of that new human being, of that kind of super. I don't like the word super so much. I don't want to be like a, it's not like a movie. It's real. It's like, and it's also not going like this. It's going step by step, because we have to change a lot in our life to get there. Like we have to change our habits, have to change our food, maybe even our sleep pattern, our work will change, but this will go organically with all the patents that are being released and what is coming new, and also connection with some helps we have from our star sisters and star brothers that are already here to assist us. So we can really look forward. This is going to be a fantastic time that is coming. And just look at what is happening outside in the world in the moment about that cleaning and clearing. So don't get involved if you don't have to. Stay in the back and look at what happened. Don't judge what is happening. If you are in a position to be involved, then understand that this also has a very deep reason, that you have definitely volunteered to be here to help to do that. And if even if it's hard or if it's difficult, whatever you do, you are that beacon of light that is needed there to help to move and speed up the whole process, that it's going faster. In a way, we can say we are behind in the schedule a little bit, but this is mostly because the human masses were not ready to wake up. And it's still about obey. As long as people still obey and still are okay with being slaves and being taken advantage of, it takes longer. So what is our job in the moment is to help people to wake up, to talk to them. For example, also when they still run around with masks, when you have a chance to talk to somebody or print out somebody and give out some flyers, or just do something little, not in a judgmental way, but just like that the fact is that these masks, and then for example, I have made a little flyer with the dot, which would be a virus if it would exist, no? And then the hole in the mask, which is much bigger, and I just kind of spread it slowly, and I see that less and less people are wearing those masks, or they still have them because they are afraid not to, but they wear them down here or underneath of the nose. You can see that too. So this is a very important step in the moment, and this is a very important rebirth of humanity. Now it is happening. Now it is happening that all this expansion can happen, and it starts within each individual, and it starts in a small frame, because in a bigger way we could not even handle it. So you see also the rising sign as Scorpio is that we are in a transformation. The transformation is happening right now. And for those who are a little bit more advanced, you can see here starts the 13th sign inside. So actually the AC is in the 13th sign, which is again is the reawakening. It is like you go through the darkness, you let go of everything. You know, if you ever read about the journey of Inanna, how she goes into the underworld and then is being reborn. So we are in that process of being reborn is also here. And this is for the whole world. Like, even if every place then has an individual horoscope, but when we look at the 0-degree meridian, it's more or less encompassing the whole. So also our mind, our human being as Mercury, if you watch my last video where I explain Mercury as the representative of the divine, as the human being, and I said that you definitely are not where your sun is, and you cannot say I am this or I am that, because this is a manifestation that is not accurate. But your personality is represented by Mercury. But still don't say I am, but this is still, because the I am is not the body. The I am is my divine self incarnated in this person. And the persona, the person, is the avatar that is having that human life. So this is more or less Mercury, who you represent on this planet. So Mercury starts to understand, starts to maybe also remember, you know, kind of become a member again of the spiritual tribe, of the memories are coming up, what we truly are, and not about the brainwash, what we have been said for a long time, that what we are, that's not the fact. We are much more. So we have here also some squares, and that is the tension, that is the difficulty. And here we have again Mercury to Pluto, which is connected with Scorpion. The ego is generally trying to resist any transformation. The ego likes to remain in habits, remain, you know, they don't want to change the belief system. It's more easy. And this is also that part of the ego that is even willing to be a slave, even adore their slave masters and support them. So this is that tension, that friction that is still here, that we have to overcome, to let go of this belief, of this belief we have to follow somebody, you know, some body. Not, we don't need to follow a body, we need to follow our own intuition. And then we have Saturn, Uranus here with the node. That is the whole war situation that we have in the world, that we can see also with Neptune, Mars here. That is said that there is still forces out there to help to eliminate, and it's very difficult to see what really is going on. You see that the mainstream has complete different information as most of the underground or the social media that is connected with different, like, Telegram channels through social and so forth. But even there is a lot of infiltration, and there's a lot of still fear mongering out there. And I think the only thing that what is really important is that we move out of fear. I have done a video with my students with questions that came in about fear. That is about the difference between natural fears and artificial or indoctrinated fears. And this is also an important topic, that we learn to discriminate what is a natural fear that we need, a natural fear as a guide in our life to help us, and what is an indoctrinated fear that is actually really what it is, you know, FEAR, false evidence appearing real. That is just appearing real because we make it real with our belief. So this is what we have to overcome in the moment, that we have to move on. And see here we have Chiron is still retrograde with the quintile to Mercury in Taurus. You can see that a healing is actually happening, a healing of our energy field, of our whole, you can say the energy field even of the whole planet, that is happening because of the paradigm that is definitely shifting now, not just in the unconscious, but that many people are conscious now of that paradigm shift, which will help us, which will give us new power, new energy, will help us to move on to higher goals. And I don't mean higher goals in the form of career, but that is the goal of our life. You know, when you look at your whole life, what is it really you want? When you have to step out of this life, what would you like to achieve? Where would you like to go? And these are topics that are coming up. I mean, when you leave this body, all the money, all the physical success, everything what you had, you have to let go. So what can you take with you? You take with you all the experience, all the knowledge, all that what you have taken out of that what you have done, that is an invisible part. So it is time to really think about it. What do I want to achieve at that point when I move on out of this physical life to get ready for a new one? Because it's not the end. That is definitely not the end. It's just a transition out of this physical body into a different higher frequency body, and depending on where your personal evolution is, coming back to this earth or move to somewhere else. It is so important that we let go of all these horrible beliefs about, you know, the doctrines that are we are going to end up in hell or whatever. Actually, it can happen, because if you believe it, you create the hell. You create it with your own thoughts. So I think it's important and very helpful if you let go of these old belief systems, like this triple conjunction wants you to see, wants you to understand, and really create now, conceive now that new life in that higher perspective. You are a god, a goddess having a human experience. You are a creator. You are a creator in a divine thing, a co-creator with all of humanity. And if we start to be conscious about that and work with that, our planet can again be paradise. And that's the goal. That's the goal where we are going. Those who are not ready for this kind of paradise, they will not move on with us. So, okay, let me check if I forgot something important. I don't think so. It's just very important that what you see in the mainstream, what you see happening now, is just a cleaning up. So please don't be afraid, first of all, because that is an artificial lie. This part of the fear is like we have been lied to so much, and there are still so many lies out there, that we have to move beyond to find our inner truth. So please take your time when you get up in the morning, just a 2 minute, maybe even when you're still laying in bed, and use something like this, like, by virtue of my divine origin, because this is who is you. I ask the divine within, you can say the God, the goddess, whatever word you want, to guide me, to protect me, to inspire me, or whatever you need to. And if you give permission, then your upstairs team can work with you. But if you are not giving them permission, they are not allowed to help, because we are here in a zone of free will, and only if we ask we can receive. So please ask, and give that out every morning, or even in the day, sometimes when you feel like I'm in trouble or so, say it again. by virtue of my divine origin, I have, not just say like that, I ask the goddess within to guide me, protect me, to inspire me. So it is. Okay, I wish you a good day and have a very interesting 2 weeks coming up. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And I'll talk to you again at full moon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.